It feels as though I've just did the 50-month update video, but somehow 3 months have passed. I think it's just I've just did so little bouldering lately. I looked up the stats, turns out I went 11 times in the last 3 months, which is less than once a week, which is not good. I'm not going to improve with that kind of rate of climbing basically, it's just too little. But of course I was injured, yeah, right ring A2, left ring A2, middle A2 and kind of quite a few of the dips, if not all of them. Just feeling a bit strained. But being like 3 months later now, things are actually pretty good. It went from slow, steady, not doing that great to quite bad to now pretty good. And so it was just by doing rehab, basically consisted of doing first of all the drag, open hand, no hangs, and then onto the half crimp. And the limiting factor has been basically my left A2 here. It's the one that gets kind of tender the most. My right A2 and middle A2 here they're pretty solid, and it's just this left A2 holding me back. But I'm back to where I was like whatever it was 3 months ago, doing 40 kilograms, and that's enough to get this one a little bit tender, but it definitely feels as though there's kind of improvements going to happen quite rapidly now. And for a while I'd just been going up very slow, steady increases on this, maybe like from 25 kilos to like 30 to 35, quite slow improvement. And then, but no, it was steady, it was good. And then I went climbing for this particular session where I wanted to kind of push it a bit further, and had my eye on this one green crimpy problem, alien block, and it became like a little test piece I guess. If I could do that I would have felt quite confident in my crimping again. But that kind of made things worse. Basically it was left hand, quite intense with this crimp, you have to hold it as you reposition your feet and then push up. And so yeah, very intensive for the left hand, and that kind of delayed things for maybe like a couple of weeks. It became quite tender, quite strained, and I didn't do a no hang session for like 2 weeks. I just continued doing my, basically throughout this 3 months I've just been maintaining and trying to push my open hand 3-finger drag, just to keep that strength up basically. So that still gives a little bit of strain to the A2, and then kind of specific rehab being the half crimp. But yeah, that climbing session pushed it a bit too far, and I didn't do my half crimp again until like 2 weeks later. So that was kind of the big dip, but amazingly after that this has been feeling pretty solid, like surprisingly solid, suspiciously solid, almost like it shouldn't feel this strong or this good after, you know, feeling quite bad for a while. And that's like maybe 2 weeks ago now. But yeah, I mean definitely, if hopefully this isn't some illusion and it is actually recovering pretty rapidly now, yeah, things are definitely looking good. And so going back 3 months, kind of my thinking at the time was, or the situation was, injuries, quite bad. I knew that rehab was going to take at least a couple months, and that'd be nice, slow and steady. And generally I knew my motivation would dip for actual climbing, bouldering, and so I realised this is a perfect opportunity to focus on other areas of strength work. And so going back to this strength assessment, the Steve Maish one, or kind of Steve Maish and Steve Betchell kind of combined the both here, I realised this was a perfect time to kind of even out any weaknesses I had here. And so kind of like simplifying all of this, this is the situation I was at, and it kind of just, it makes it so, I love how simplified this is. Basically it's a question of like, what do I train in? This became, you know, a question to answer in my head. What do I focus on for the last 3 months? And like this assessment just makes it so simplistic and easy. I go down the list and basically focus all the ones that are the weakest. So let's do it. First one, half crimp, was weak, but of course because these are injured, my pulleys, I couldn't focus on that. So that's basically became rehab. And going down, so my middle to open was weak, so I've been working on that, doing my open hand 3, which should transfer to middle to open. And here's a video of me doing that assessment. This time I switch it to one arm, basically because last time doing 2 arm I got to plus 30 kilograms, it felt as though my little connection to the wall there, the kind of the mounting for the hangboard, was starting to like come off the wall. Basically, it's not a firm enough connection, so I switched to one arm so I could use less weights and not have that rip off the wall. And so for one arm, for left and right hand, I managed minus 10 kilograms, so body weight 70, minus 10 kilograms 60. I managed that for 10 seconds for both my left and my right hand. Not really, don't really know how to compare that to the two arm. We're probably doubling it and taking 90% of that as like a rough, good enough guess, I think, which makes me a little bit stronger. My two open, my middle two open. And then comparing my drag, 3-finger drag is, last time was minus 10 for 5 and 10 seconds for left and right, and 3 months later it's minus 7.5, 8 seconds and 10 seconds, so definite improvement there, which is nice to see. And then back to this list, so middle to open week, it's probably still, I'll still classify it as still weak, so definitely something to work on now for the next 3 months. The next week one was the push press, and so this I pretty much totally neglected until a month ago, just because when I did the assessment last time I felt as though my lower back was getting strained, I wasn't keeping good form, and I really couldn't be bothered looking into what was good form. But for the last month I've been trying it, basically alternating between push press and just a military press. But when push pressing got to like higher weights, again I got that bad form, so my lower back started to hurt a little bit or felt strained. So basically I switched to just military pressing, overhand pressing. Here's a video of me doing that. And testing from a 1 rep maximum, I got 60 kilograms, which is 86% of body weight. And of course in Steve Maish's thing, he's looking for basically a body weight push press. Once you can get to that, you can kind of stop training it. You're good enough, you're strong enough. But of course I was just doing a strict press, so there's like a rough conversion between those two, such that whatever, let's say if you can do 100 kilograms push press, you should be able to manage 75% or 75 kilos with the overhead press or military press. So basically using that kind of conversion rate, my 60 kilogram military press is going to be roughly like an 80 kilo push press if I had good technique and could use that leg drive and actually push overhead. But I don't have that technique, so it's kind of hard to gauge if I'm at the right level of strength here. But just going by that, I think I'm pretty, I'm probably in the strong category now for overhead pressing. And so back to the list. Okay, that's pretty much it then. That was my weak points, and I worked on those. And then the next one, you just go then from weak to the okay ones, and that is then deadlift. And basically for the deadlift then, my strategy was start with the sumo deadlift. It's like the simpler one, it seems. So I did that maybe like 5-6 sessions. Then from there, just alternated between sumo, conventional, sumo, conventional, da. And so now here's some videos of me testing my 1 rep max for sumo. Managed to get to 140 kilograms, and that is 2 times body weight, which is pretty good. And then from our conventional, testing my 1 rep maximum, I try 160 kilograms, basically I tried it twice actually, and both times it's basically my grip, my hand grip that slips. I get it like halfway up my thigh, then just the grip just suddenly feels like it's going to go, and then I have to like kind of clench it against, or clamp it against my leg to keep it there, but can't manage to lock it out. So basically before trying that 1 rep max, what I had managed was 145 kilograms for 3 reps. So probably 1 rep max, my true one rep max is probably somewhere in between there, maybe like 150 kilos, which puts me pretty close to the 2.25 body weight that Steve Maish is saying is pretty strong, or the full stärker. Yeah, so I think my deadlift has went from okay to probably strong. Maybe give it another month or two, it's definitely going to be in the strong category. So next up was pull-ups, which were okay. And so for this, I started to, like after doing my assessment 3 months ago, the weighted pull-up, I got 30 kilograms, 1 rep max. I basically then just started training the weighted pull-ups, but very quickly my golfer's elbow returned a little bit, not too bad, but enough to realise that right, I cannot push this too much. So I backed right down, went to the basics, doing like ring rows, just very kind of like pre-pull-up strength level exercises, and just progressed them up and up and up and up. And only in the last, like say, month, maybe 2 weeks even, I feel as though I'm now back doing like pull-up strength work that's actually pushing my muscles now. Kind of the last 3 months has just been a slow ramp up to get my tendons prepared for more intense stuff. And that seems to be going quite good. Hasn't really returned the golfer's elbow, so that's pretty good. So I tested my 1 rep maximum, and it's now 35 kilos versus 30 3 months ago, which is pretty good given I've not really pushed my muscles in that time. I'm actually very happy with that. And then back to the list. The next one is okay, was my bench press. It's when, probably in the scheme of things terribly, I started, I think 3 months ago the assessment was roughly, I think, body weight. And it's pretty much remained body weight since then. Or my assessment was actually using the floor press, and now I'm going to do the actual bench press at the gym. It's basically usually just manage like 2 or 3 reps at body weight, kind of, or basically went from, I think the first time doing the gym was like 70 kilos for 2 reps, and like 3 months or 2 months later it's now 70 kilos for 3 reps. I really see no improvement. I just feel as though I'm not able to really explode or put a lot of power in. It feels, it's probably again technique thing, but it feels as though I'm very restricted and can't really push it out. But I tried my 1 rep maximum, and even though I hadn't really improved by the numbers in that time, I managed to get 77.5 kilograms for 1 rep maximum, which puts me at 1.1 times body weight, which is still a bit off from my 1.25% body weight that Steve Betchell recommends is like strong enough. But I'm not sure how much I'm going to push that. I think what I'm going to do is switch to dips, because I tried dips and it went pretty well. Feels much more like I've much more strength, or I can unleash more strength when I do that exercise. Certainly less technique. You just need to have good form. Once you're good form, you know, there's no technique basically, so I prefer that. Bench press just hasn't really appealed to me. I haven't really looked at the, I think the whole arching thing is just strange. It looks like it's cheating. It basically doesn't appeal. I don't have confidence, and I've just seen no improvement, so I think I'm going to ditch that. Just stick to, like, say, dips for the kind of tricep, a bit of chest work, and then maybe test my, hopefully it will translate to bench press. Supposedly it does, we'll see. Yeah, focus more on dips now rather than bench press, but at least there's some improvement over 3 months. And okay, so that's it. All weeks I worked on, all that were okay I worked on. The strongs I didn't do anything as expected. So for wide pinch, I reassessed that with the wide block, and basically got the same weight, 22.5 kilograms, but only for 8 and 9 seconds for left right versus 10 seconds 3 months ago, which makes sense. Haven't trained it, haven't been doing as much climbing, so of course haven't been using pinches as much, and so yeah, slight decline in strength there. And basically identical for the narrow as well, 8 and 9 seconds versus 10 seconds, so yeah, slight drop off, but as expected, and still close enough to where I was last time that I'm zero concern about that. Then squat, again punched out 5 reps, 1 pistol squats each side. Yeah, basically easily strong enough for that. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. That's what I've been doing for the last 2 months. And kind of going forward, it's pretty much going to be more of the same. Basically the main focus is of course rehabbing this, which is going well, slow, steady, excellent. I'm going to continue with my open hand training on the no hang. It seems to be working quite well, getting strong with that. And probably main like strength focus is bringing my pull up, my weighted pull up, basically get it from okay-ish to kind of strong. That's definitely my main focus. Get my deadlift up to 2.25 body weight. That should be fairly straightforward to get that soon. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully I can squeeze in a bouldering session or two. This is a bouldering vlog, so yeah. Yeah, I definitely need to bring that frequency up. Less than once a week is just abysmal. That's just, there's nowhere to go from there. Yeah, so that's a rough plan. Next 2 months, let's see what happens. Thanks for watching.